Well, it's the season of comebacks. I am back on the English channel. OnePlus is back to the Indian smartphone market and the alert slider is back on a OnePlus smartphone. This is the OnePlus 11. It's here and it's here to stay as one of the best flagship phones of 2023. Well, there are a couple of reasons why I'm really excited about this smartphone, because in the last year or so, OnePlus has had this weird strategy about its flagship phones. Last year, we had the OnePlus 10 Pro, but there was no OnePlus 10. Later in the year, we got the OnePlus 10T, but there was no Pro model. And this year again, we have the OnePlus 11, but a Pro model is not coming anytime soon. Also, the second reason is that this is the third and the final year of the OnePlus and Hasselblad partnership. So today, we're going to find out whether they cleared the exam or not. So let me begin this review by talking about the camera itself. Okay, first let's look at the camera specifications. On this phone, you get a 50 megapixel primary sensor. There's a 48 megapixel ultra wide sensor and a 32 megapixel telephoto sensor. There's also a 16 megapixel selfie camera on the front. The phone supports 8K video recording at 24 FPS and the 4K video recording is supported up to 30 and 60 FPS both. On the front, you still get just 1080p video recording. Of course, I'm going to talk about the camera performance in detail. But first, let me point out that the camera app on this phone is very neat, and that's a very strong point of this phone. You open the camera app, you get all your usual basic options right on top. The portrait mode here works differently. It matches the effect of 30mm and 65mm Hasselblad lenses to give you a DSLR-like bokeh experience. Even the portrait mode comes with a lot of options like focus peaking for pro photographers. And amid other options, there is also OnePlus Expand mode, which lets you take cinematic shots. The best part about this camera app is that all of these options are very easily discoverable. Now, let's talk about the camera performance, and first thing that I have to say is that OnePlus 11 has improved a lot in terms of camera performance over the OnePlus 10 Pro. It's a very capable camera system. Here are the closer observations. The main camera is simply brilliant. Look at the images and you can finally see the OnePlus Hasselblad partnership showing its magic. The pictures look so pleasant and sharp. The colors are handled well and there is hardly any over sharpening here. Now, of course, these are some basic images, but to truly test the OnePlus 11's camera capabilities, I took it to a big fat Indian wedding and the results were some stunning images. Just look at this image, absolutely brilliant. The sky, the building and even the crow on the top of it have been captured really well. What really impressed me is that when I clicked the same picture with the ultra wide angle camera, it looked very similar without any loss of details. Here's another example of the same. Both the main camera image and the wide angle image look very similar and absolutely stunning. One more. In this case, even the texture of the building has hardly changed when I switch to the ultra wide angle. Now, talking about the texture, here's another example. Just see how well the main camera has handled the texture of this curtain, and even though there's light creeping from the background, it is still visible. So the dynamic range is also really good. The portrait shots are also really crisp. In all these images, you can see that the skin texture and colors are very natural. There is no over sharpening or over saturation. Oh, by the way, this is one of my favorite pictures of this year already. Now, there's a slight difference that I noticed in the facial tones while shooting in 35mm and 60mm. It's noticeable in this case. Now, this doesn't take away the fact that it's still a very good portrait shooter. Take a look at this image, for example. Looks good, right? See now, the bokeh in the background is superb. The zoom shots can be a lot better though. In this case, you can see that the camera has still done a decent job. The text is readable even at 20x. But here, everything is just grainy and unclear. The camera improvements also reflect on the selfie shooter. It's much better than what I have seen on previous OnePlus phones. In fact, it's probably the best OnePlus has done in terms of selfies. The same goes for the night shots. Just look at some of these images. Most clicked in some really challenging light conditions, yet so perfect. Obviously, some of them are enhanced for clarity, but the results are still very impressive. For example, this one was clicked in pitch dark conditions. I could barely see the building with my eyes, but here you go. Just to show you the difference, I have taken these two shots, one in day and the other at night, and you can see how well the camera has handled the light. Now this brings us to the video part. Again, great job here. The video was recorded at 4K 30 FPS, very steady, nice colors. To sum it up, the OnePlus 11 is probably the best camera phone from OnePlus, and the Hasselblad partnership has truly come to its own in this phone. Now it will be interesting to see if OnePlus and Hasselblad continue this partnership and build on the gains that they've got or not. Now let's move to the design part. Now that you have looked at what the camera can do, just take a moment and appreciate this thing. Absolutely beautiful, just like the OG OnePlus phones that were known for their design. It has a great in-hand feel, nice finish at the back, a little bit slippery, but overall a great phone. Comes in two colorways, just like the last year, Titan Black, Eternal Green. The camera module is bigger now, merges right into the frame, which reminds me of one thing. Yup, the alert slider is back. Always useful. There is Gorilla Glass 5 protection at the back, but no official IP rating, even though OnePlus claims that this phone gives you an IP68-like protection against dust and water. Ideally, you want an official IP rating on a flagship smartphone. Overall, this works for me. I mean, it's a nice phone, very nicely built, good weight distribution, a premium feel and great in-hand feel to it as well. So yes, the design is pretty good in my opinion. Now, let's move to the front. So display is again one of OnePlus 11's biggest strengths. You get almost everything you expect on a flagship. It's a Quad HD Plus display, has a variable refresh rate, so it can go from 1 to 120 Hz. There is Dolby Vision support, HDR10 Plus support, and the colors absolutely look stunning on this one. Even look at this wallpaper, how cute. Yeah, there you go. So yes, it is a perfect device to sort of consume content. The bezels are also very thin. It's a curved display, doesn't go till the edge, but yes, the display overall is very nice, very touch responsive, and gets ample bright for outdoor usage. It's not perfect though. There's one thing that I noticed, that there is a slight color shift on the display, especially while I was using YouTube. So whenever I was scrolling through different videos or playing them, the screen shifts colors just for a brief period before switching back to normal. So that is one thing which I noticed, but apart from that, I have absolutely no complaints with this display. Now this is the part that surprised me the most. Last year's OnePlus 10 Pro was a good phone, but it had a lot of performance issues. In fact, the OnePlus 9 Pro, which came in 2020, used to heat up a lot. Seems like OnePlus has fixed all of that with the OnePlus 11. This one of course comes with Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip. I've already used the iQOO 11 with the same chipset. The chipset itself is very good, but OnePlus optimization here is pretty impressive. I ran a lot of games on this, ran a lot of apps, spent a lot of time gaming, and the phone did not heat up or showed any signs of slowing down. You get this one in two variants, so there's one 8GB RAM variant and a 16GB RAM variant. Along with that, there's also virtual RAM, so you can expect the phone to be running pretty smoothly, pretty seamlessly. As far as the software goes, now this is not the OG OnePlus experience, not the OG Oxygen OS that we know. It's changed a lot, but still a lot better than what you get on other Android smartphones. There are a lot of options to customize the phone, personalize the experience. The animations are still very smooth. See, I have done a bit of customization for my use case here, added some new animations or transition effects also. And yes, I did not face any issues while using the phone. No bugs, very smooth, very seamless experience. A battery does not get much of an upgrade on this one. It still comes with a 5000 mAh battery pack. Along with that, you get a 100-watt charger inside the box. The battery backup is pretty decent. It's you can expect the phone to last easily for a day on normal usage. But Aman will do a battery drain test of this phone very soon. Also expect a lot of comparison videos between OnePlus 11, iQOO 11, even the Samsung Galaxy S23, which we'll have in our hands very, very soon. So to get all those videos, what you need to do is subscribe to Fiiber, press that notification bell, so whenever we upload those videos, you get to know about them. This is after a long time that I've actually enjoyed using a OnePlus phone so much. I'm thoroughly impressed by the improvements made in almost all the departments, from the design to performance to camera. You can see that the OnePlus 11 is definitely an upgrade on the OnePlus 10 Pro. In fact, this is the OnePlus that once used to threaten Samsung and Apple. This is the OnePlus that you want to see. Having said that, as I pointed out earlier, this is still not the perfect phone. There are issues there. As I told you that the telephoto sensor could be a little better. Ideally, you expect an official IP rating on a flagship phone. There was this bit of a color shift issue on the display. But these are things that you can overlook if the phone is priced right. My guess is 60,000 rupees. My rating is 8.5 out of 10. You let me know what you think about this device. Does it impress you enough to spend on it? Do put your thoughts in the comment section. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in. We'll address them in one of our videos. Thank you.